Oh, we are live! How are we, lads? Come on, the footy! The footy's back! Guys, subscribe to the channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! The Cowboys win it! Woo! Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to the Friday night football review for round 8 of the 2022 NRL season. We saw 2 games of football tonight. We saw the Panthers beat the Titans 18 points to 4 up there at the Gold Coast. And we saw the Rabbitohs beat the Seagulls 40 points to 22 down there at the Central Coast Stadium. To help me review both games, it is a proud and happy Rabbitohs fan, CJ MOXLEY. How are you, CJ? How about them Rabbitohs, bro? Too good?
Oh, that left edge, man. I'm really happy with that win. Obviously, Manly were competitive, especially without their trip, so credit to them. But I think we won fair and square, and I'm happy with that win, so yeah. I'm feeling great.
I mean, look, obviously there were a couple of calls that did go against that did go against the Seagulls, but obviously the big one was the send-off, which I'm sure we will get into very soon. But the Bunnies a little bit too good, and in the earlier game, well, we saw a complete snooze fest up there at the Gold Coast. I think everyone was playing drunk. The Titans and the Panthers. That game was a game where both teams just couldn't complete a set. Both teams kept dropping the ball. It felt like they went to the nightclub before the game, and then they ended up going to the game, and then they ended up just playing piss drunk. That's what it looked like on TV. But I guess if you're at the game, it's a different atmosphere. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the Friday night football review for round 8 of the 2022 NRL season. This is the number 1 channel for all post-game show reviews live on YouTube.com. I am your host, Nick from Australia, joined by CJ MOXLEY, and if you want to subscribe to CJ's YouTube channel, the link for his channel is in the description below as well. And if you haven't subscribed to me yet, then I don't know what you're doing with yourself, but you got to subscribe. It doesn't cost you a damn thing. It's always a good time here on the reviews, and it's always a lot of fun. And last thing I'll say as well before we get into the game is, if you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so. PayPal is in the description below, which is the preferred option, because it goes into my bank account instantly. But also, if you don't want to do that, Super Chat is also active as well. But CJ, mate, CJ's the member, and mate, you're an iconic man for doing that. You're a fucking legend, CJ. But mate, let's get into the review. And we're going to go back to the very first game, which I don't think we'll spend much time on because it was such a snooze fest. Panthers 18 over the Titans 4. Titans had 4-0 at halftime. CJ, what'd you make of the game? The Panthers were pretty ordinary, but they still won this game 13 plus, mate. What'd you make of the Titans-Panthers game tonight?
Yeah, look, I think the first half was pretty shit in my opinion. It was at least from what I understand, it was pretty windy out there in the first half. Penrith didn't really do much in that first half. I think they were a bit off. The Titans were off as well, but they did a bit of a lucky try towards the end. We'll get into that, but I think it wasn't one of the best games this year. I think it was pretty crap, in my opinion.
It was pretty sloppy. It was smelly. It was like you're sitting in the lounge room, you're watching the game, and it's like a cat and a dog both come through and they farted. That's what this game was. It's exactly what this game was. Now, let me just say this, mate. The Gold Coast Titans, they couldn't have played this game any more dumb. The Panthers made over 7 errors in the first half. I think it was 6 or 7 errors in the first half. They were ordinary as. They were completely off their game. The Titans had chance after chance. Sexton almost scored. Both Fermor nearly scored. Mate, it took them a long time to score a try. What was it? They scored their first try in the 38th minute. Mate, the Gold Coast Titans, honest to God, I don't know what's wrong with them. I know their spine's young and they still got a lot of things to work on, but They would have to be one of the most boring teams to watch at the moment. They are awful to watch, CJ.
Well, I don't get much kick out of them watching them, especially tonight. They didn't really do much except for that try. That's about it. But I will say this much: I do think they need to have Herman Sasa in the 17.
Oh, yeah.
I think he played probably better than Fafita when he came off the bench. So they need to keep Herman.
Don't even mention Fafita. Don't even mention him. The bloke was shot. Bloke was shot to pieces. I'll tell you someone who was good for him, Sam Lasone. Bro,
Yeah.
Sam Lasone needs to be starting in this Titans forward pack. The bloke's a monster.
No.
I love him. I'm a fan of him. I'm already a big fan of him. Sam Lasone is a weapon, man. I think he's outstanding.
He's definitely under the radar. Nobody really talks about him, but I think tonight could have stamped his authority on the game. So he's made himself used.
We won't get much into it, but we do need to mention this as well from the get-go. The decision to put David Fafita on the bench. Did you like the decision? He came on and played right edge back row, did absolutely nothing, didn't get the ball, and when he had the ball, he didn't do anything at all. He had an absolute flop of a game. Mate, Fafita, what's he taking Fafita, and what do the Titans have to do to get him more involved, man?
Did I like it? No, I don't think he had any impact whatsoever on the game. And what do they need to do? I am a firm believer in that they need to start Fafita.
Where?
That's a good question. Where? I don't know, but they just need to start him, man. For me, he's not a bench player. He doesn't make any impact off the bench, in my personal opinion, that is. And that showed tonight.
Yeah, sorry, bro. My connection just cut out a little bit there. Sorry about that. Yeah,
that's all.
Bro, in the second row, I don't even know if Fafita's a second row anymore, because all year this year, he has done absolutely nothing. He's probably had maybe one, maybe two good games. I can't remember many times this year where I've given him a top 3 on ground. I think I might have given him once or twice, but he's been disappointing, man. And I got to say as well, on the Titans, obviously they are a young club. They are trying to build. Obviously last year they played finals and they're trying to back it up there again. But in my opinion, see, I know it's only round 8 and there's still a long way to go in the season, but in my opinion, the Titans will be in the bottom 4 coming into the season. They are absolutely shot. I can't see them playing finals football. You know what? Fuck it. I'm doing it. I'm putting a red pen through the Titans. They are not going to play finals. They are done. They are not making the 8. They are shot. I'm putting a pen for them. They are bottom 4 bound. They are done. That halves combination of whether it be Brimson and Sexton, whether it be a Will Smith and Sexton, I don't care what the halves combination is. Toby Sexton is look, I get it. He's young. He hasn't played 20 NRL games yet. He'll get better once he gets to 50 to 60 NRL games. But right now, the bloke's not an NRL standard halfback. And I don't believe the Titans can go anywhere with him at halfback right now and this year. So I'm putting a red pen through the Titans. They are done. They're not playing finals. They're going to be in the bottom 4.
They've really lost that. They'd be regretting the loss of Fogarty now, as he added that leadership and direction in the halves in his name.
I watched Shut the Gates' tipping video the other day, and they were talking about the Gold Coast and how poor they were. And I agree with what Toby and Trev said. Toby Sexton's not really an NRL standard halfback at the moment. And they're shot, bro. They're shot. They've scored 4 points in 2 weeks. They got flogged by the Cowboys in Townsville. They got flogged again tonight. Even though the Panthers were terrible tonight, they still lost by 14. How can you be so shit? No, they're done. They're done, the Titans. I can't see them doing anything.
I don't know. I don't know how controversial this is to say. I don't know who it'll trigger, but I think they're just a dysfunctional club when it comes down to it, in my opinion.
I don't know. What's wrong with them? They had 1,000 opportunities tonight. They had 100 sets in the first half when they couldn't crack them. And, mate, fuck me, man. I reckon they're done, the Titans. I'm putting a red pen for them. They're gone. Anyway, mate, let's get into the game. I mean, obviously, not much to talk about here. And I want to start with this, which I think we're going to get a little bit upset about, CJ. For 22nd minute, a no try to Dylan Edwards. Cleary gives it on to Staines. Staines to Edwards. And a no try to Edwards because Nathan Cleary is in the way. I mean, Cleary's a support player here. He is entitled to be there as a support player. It's not like he was in the line obstructing anybody, but because the Titans player ran towards Cleary's back and fell over, it ended up being obstruction. Bro, the Dylan Edwards no try. I thought it was a disgraceful decision and it should have been a try to Edwards. Mate, what are your thoughts on that decision?
Well, I want someone to explain to me what was Nathan Cleary supposed to do in that lead up. What was he supposed to do?
Exactly.
He couldn't really do
Exactly
anything.
right.
He's there for support. And as you said before, he's entitled to be there. So I have no idea why that try was overturned or overruled. Personally, if I was running it, it's a try. Clear as day to me. And yeah, Penrith should have been at least leading at halftime.
Yeah, and I'm just going to read the chat as well. And Metallic Panther has just said Cleary's chin blocked away. And Aussie Mozzie says the same thing. His chin got in the way. And I think you're 110% right on that one. Cleary's big chin, man. He's in the line. Obviously blocks the defender, so it deems an obstruction. But in all seriousness, that was bullshit. What's Cleary meant to do, man? What's he meant to do, though? He can't just move out of the way. That's bullshit. Anyway, bullshit decision. No try to Dylan Edwards. And, well, speaking of more bullshit, we get to the 36th minute, bro, and Panthers challenge the Edwards knock on. Mate, there's no way he knocked that ball on. That clearly went back. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, in the first half, usually we make memes like we joke about, Penrith getting all the calls. But
yeah,
I think in the first half, Titans got the rub of the green more than Penrith did. So
that surprised
me. I think it was a very tough decision. And in the chat, I don't care. But, I think it was a very tough decision, in my opinion.
Lads, we'll get into the Adam Reynolds Cup next week. That's going to be fantastic. The banter will be out of control, as it always is. But, mate, the Edwards knock on where they challenged it and they failed. Do you reckon that should have been a challenge, successful or unsuccessful? I thought it should have been successful. I thought it was a bullshit call.
If I was in charge of it, it is challenge successful for me. It went back and mate,
we get to the 38th minute and the first try is scored here. Obviously, Penrith kept dropping the ball 100 times. Greg Marzou scores for the Gold Coast, mate. Sexton puts a crossfield kick, tapped back by Patrick Herbert. The feeder ends up busting through, offloads it to Will Smith, and Smith ends up kicking the ball crossfield to Marzou, and Marzou scores. I mean, very nice try from the Gold Coast, but 4-0 at halftime. The Titans needed more than 4-0, bro.
Yeah, Penrith's completion, very poor in that first half. Titans capitalised on it. Marzou for solid try to take him in front, luckily by half-time. So the Titans go 4-0 up.
Titans 4-0 at half-time, and I thought to myself, fuck me. Penrith had about 20,000 errors. They had a poor completion rate, yet it was only 4-0. So as mad as Ivan Cleary would have been, CJ, he would have been going, boys, there's only one try. Just wake the fuck up and be better. And we get to the second half, and gee, I tell you what, Ivan Cleary must have said something at halftime that got him going because they started the second half brilliantly. 43rd minute, CJ. Isaac Tago scores. Cleary puts a grubber kick through, and Tago scores for the Panthers. Isaac Tago, the kid's getting better, bro. What a gun.
He's got to stay in that Penrith side somewhere, man. Clear to Tago, a really good play from them, and it gets Penrith on the board, and this is where, I wouldn't say the floodgates open, but I got confident with Penrith from there on out. Penrith
go to 6 points to 4 in front, mate, and they do look good. And look, it's going to sound a bit controversial, but when this next try happened, I knew it was over. 48th minute, Nathan Cleary scores a try, short ball to William and kick out with an incredible offload back to Nathan Cleary. Cleary scores. Panthers go 12-4 in front. It's still half an hour to go, but I was confident Penrith were home after that.
Yeah, I was confident as well. I mean, even if you put 12 on a team like the Titans, or if Penrith put 12 on you, it's pretty much game over because they know how to overlap on that play and they know how to keep going for the momentum. So, yeah, it looked over when Nathan Cleary scored.
It's so sad as well, CJ, because usually when a game is 12 points to 4, it's still, the game's still in the balance. But when you're playing Penrith, who are looking like, obviously they're a top 2 team and one of the teams to beat this year, but when Penrith go 12-4 in front, unless you're Melbourne, Roosters, Manly, Cronulla, any of Parramatta, if you're not one of them, I don't think you're coming back. So,
And
yeah.
also the other thing is too, man. This is up for debate, but I think that was Penrith's worst performance of the season, and they still had a really convincing.
Easily. The game against Brisbane a few weeks ago in that first half was pretty bad, but they were awful tonight, and they still end up winning the game quite easily. So we get to the Panthers go to a 12-4 lead after 48 minutes gone, and we get to the 67th minute, bro, and the Titans challenge, the Melody fought awake and knock on. Challenge unsuccessful. I mean, I don't even know why they challenged this, CJ. I thought that was crazy. Dumb challenge.
Yeah, it was a wasted challenge for me. They could have saved it for another time. I don't think they should have challenged it. It was not going to be successful.
Again, the Titans, they tried scoring a couple tries towards the end there to make it interesting, but couldn't do it because they're shit. And we get to the last 2 minutes, bro, and Jerome Luai scores. Nathan Cleary puts a grubber kick through, and Luai scores, and that's pretty much the ball game, CJ.
Yeah, that's it. There's really nothing to talk about this game. Basically, what it was, that Titans had a bit of a good start in the first half, Penrith 4, and they came back in the second half, made it a better game, and yeah, it was pretty much over when Cleary scored in the 47th minute.
The Panthers win the game 18-4, and funny enough, CJ, Nathan Cleary had a try assist, he had a try, and then he had a try assist late in the game. So I know everyone's going to have fun picking a man of the match for this game because I know it was such a boring game, but Nathan Cleary was a standout and just throwing it out there. But CJ, might as well rip into it now. Your top three players on ground for the Titans versus Panthers game. Both teams completed at 60-odd%, so it wasn't great, but top three on ground from this game, bro.
I go number 3. I'll put Titans playing down. I'll be like Greg Marzou. Okay, number 2. This is tough. Number 2. I thought Talon May had a few good touches on the field.
He was great. Yeah, he was good for Penrith.
And my man of the match has to be Nathan Cleary.
Yeah, well said. Look, I am actually going to throw a Titans player in there as well, bro. Number 3 for me is Sam Lasone. Thought he was outstanding for the Gold Coast. Thought he played great. I'm a fan of this bloke. I reckon he's just going to get better and better. And he's always had the potential of being a really solid front row in the competition, but he's always been a little bit up and down for me. He's had a few errors in him and stuff. So for tonight, Lasone was great for the Gold Coast. Number 2 for me is James Fisher-Harris. CJ, I thought Fisher-Harris was outstanding tonight. He had a great game in the middle, and my man of the match was going to Nathan Cleary. 2 try assists, had a try. If it wasn't for Nathan Cleary, the game probably ends up being a bit closer than 18-4, but absolutely. Nathan Cleary is my man of the match in the Panthers' 18-4 win over the Gold Coast up there at Seabar Super Stadium, and I'm probably guessing right now, knowing the Panthers, they love their dancing and stuff. They probably had the nightclub in Seven's Paradise right now getting on it, I reckon. So Panthers with a win. I mean, it wasn't pretty, it wasn't convincing, but they did enough to win. So good. The champs find a way.
The most entertaining part of the game was probably the striker. That's about it, and even that was stupid. So.
Oh yeah, that dumb lady who ran on the field and towards the end of the game. I mean, fuck me, bro. I don't like the streakers. I reckon they're idiots. I don't like when they come on the field. It really shits me off. It's the second time this year it's happened. It happened in the Titans-Eagles game. Now it's happened here again. So, obviously, something needs to be sorted out about the security of the Gold Coast. But, far out, man. I just don't understand how this keeps happening. It's just crazy. But, yeah. Fuck the streaker, man. I reckon it's bullshit.
Yeah, I agree, bro.
It's not good. Anyway, Panthers win 18-4, and the Panthers next week, they take on the Eels at Penrith in the Battle of the West. And as for the Gold Coast, well, they play the Roosters in Mackay, so good luck with that.
Oh, come on, Titans. No, that'll be tough. That'll be a good game.
It'll be another game where they lose 13+ next week.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about it. Anyway, let's get into the other game, bro. The main game tonight at Central Coast Stadium. Rabbitohs 40, Manly 22. CJ, your boys, the Bunnies. Mate, what'd you make of the Rabbitohs' performance tonight?
It was good. I think we did what we could. I think our attack was shining, especially on that left side. I really wish I was there, but I couldn't. Shout out to Pro Enzo for going out there, first of all.
Yes.
Congrats. I hope he had a good night, except for the result, but I hope he had a good night otherwise. But for Souths, man, I really think we had a solid game. That second half, I think we were much more better than the first half. So.
Yeah, look, shout out to Promenzo Vids. From what I understand, there's going to be a vlog for the Rabbitohs Manly game, so hopefully we see that tonight or tomorrow. So good on Promenzo Vids for getting out there to Central Coast Stadium tonight. Good on him. Obviously, the result didn't go the way he wanted, but I hope he had a fantastic night at the game. 17,000 people. Apparently, there was a bit of a delay, CJ. About 10 minutes it took some people to get in after the game already started because there was so much people, and it was crazy.
From my understanding, it took another YouTuber, Z-Tank, about 20 minutes to get into
it. Yeah. I saw his Instagram story or something. He wrote like, took 10 minutes just to get to my seat. Central Coast needs to sort this out, and he's got a point.
It was a packed crowd for Central Coast game, so it's good to see as well.
Also, shout out to Z-Tank as well. He just hit 1,000 subscribers as well, so shout out to Z-Tank. What a legend. What a legend. Hopefully I can get him on the channel sometime soon, but yeah, shout out to Z-Tank for getting 1K. It's a great achievement. Some of the stats from the Rabbitohs Manly game, CJ, I just want to go through with you, mate. Manly, 83% completion rate. South Sydney, 80%. So Manly had a better completion rate than Souths did tonight, which I found a bit strange, actually. Souths had a 33 from 41 completed sets. Manly, 31 from 37. Missed tackles. Manly, 40. Souths, 32. 6 against were 2-0 to Manly, to Souths, I mean. And penalty count was 6-3. 14 errors from Souths, 11 from Manly. 14 errors from Souths. Fuck me.
It didn't feel like the thing is, it didn't feel like it felt like we had pretty good ball completion and our sets were all right, but I did not know that we had 14 fucking errors. Wow.
Yeah. Mate, well, let's get into the game, and obviously we're going to start off with a bang here. First minute, Souths kick off out in the 4, which was obviously not ideal, but probably the big moment of the whole game, probably the main talking point out of this contest. 8th minute, Cole Lawton sent off for a dangerous tackle on Cameron Murray. This was a big, big call. When I first watched it live, CJ, I said, he's going to get sent off for this. And then I watched the replay 3 or 4 times, and I thought to myself, okay, he hasn't landed on his head, but it's probably a sin bin at worst. I didn't believe a send-off was coming. He ends up being sent off. CJ, I know you're a Souths fan, and this was a Manly player on a Souths player, but do you believe Cole Lawton should have been sent off, or do you reckon a sin bin would have been the right call?
Well, I'll be completely honest with you, man. I have not watched that since it happened live at first, like you. I thought it was a sent-off. Yep. I'm not comparing it to this situation at all, but it could have been really bad if he was to land on his neck or his head, as we've seen in past situations with players like Alex McKinnon. I think they sent him off the potential of the danger, but if we're talking about what happened, it would probably just be a sin bin, yeah. But going off from what I seen live, I would have sent him off, but I can understand where the sin bin conversation comes into talk as well. But it was a very stupid thing from Carl Lawton to even have him in that position to begin with.
I do remember a couple of years ago, it might have been 2019 or 2020. It was one of those 2 years. The Raiders played the Dragons on a Sunday night game in Sydney, and Nick Cotric was playing in the centres. He did one of those tackles very similar to what Cole Lawton did to Cam Murray, and Cotric was sent off for it. Now, I do remember Ricky still being upset about it. And I remember watching the replay, and I'm going, okay, it's a sin bin, but it's not a sent-off. And look, if you watch the replay over and over again, obviously everyone's going to have their different opinion on it. But for mine, it is a sin bin, but I wouldn't have sent him off. The tackle wasn't on his head, so you can't just say, oh, it's ifs this, it's ifs and buts, and what if this happened? The main thing is it didn't happen. It landed. It didn't land on his head. It was a dangerous tackle. He'd probably get a few weeks for it, Cole Lawton. He'd probably get 3 or 4 weeks for that tackle. But for mine, it's a sin bin. I wouldn't have given a send-off. I thought it was a really tough call for it to be a send-off. But, again, it comes down to what the bunker decided at the end of the day. And I thought maybe a sin bin would have been the right call. But it ends up being a send-off, CJ.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be probably the talking point of the weekend if nothing else really happens. So
this will be talked about till next fucking Friday, knowing the NRL media.
No, well, it's not too big of a deal. They're probably going to blow it out more than they should, but
I'll be going live for the fucking breakdown podcast on Wednesday night, and I'll still be hearing the news. Oh, fucking Cole Lawton this, Cole Lawton that. I'm like, fuck, mate. Cole Lawton's getting more praise for an accident than he is his actual performance when he plays football. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
But anyway, he ends up being sent off, and Manly down to 12 for the rest of the game, which was massive for them. Good for South, 13-12, rest of the game. Can't complain there for 72 minutes, but ends up being a send-off. Blake Taft takes the 2 points. CJ, Souths go to a 2-0 lead early on. Bro, good start for Souths, right? Taking the 2 points.
I think that was the smart decision. Blake Taft doing it. Even though they had 12 people on 13, I do generally believe that we wouldn't have scored that set. So I think going for a penalty goal was the smart choice.
Yeah, but then we get into another controversial decision from the contest made in the 16th minute. Kieran Foran scores. Now, this is controversial. Jake Trbojevic gives it to Foran. Foran dummies at the line and gets through. When I first watched it, I thought the ball hit the ground, and then obviously they had a look at it. The bunker looked at it, and mate, I could not see that ball on the grass. I could have swear to God that Kieran Foran was held up. I did not see that ball hit the grass once. CJ, Foran, was he held up, or would you have given the try?
In my unbiased opinion, he's held up. The only reason why they gave it a try is because it was inconclusive. Other than that, I did not see the ball touch the blades of grass either. I think it's a pretty shitty decision. Got more points on the board for Manly, but look, what can you do? I think it was the wrong decision over.
They call it inconclusive, but then you watch the replay and you can clearly see the ball's held up the whole time. So how can you say there isn't enough evidence to overturn it? You've got 100,000 cameras in the bunker. The ball is not on the grass. The ball is held up. Foran didn't score. Now, look, I did have him first try scorer on the punt. I did win $140 off it, which was nice. But there is no fucking way Foran had that ball on the ground. That was ridiculous.
Mate, you won accidental money. So, I mean, you'll take it, but...
I took the money. I withdrew it from Sportsbet immediately. It's now in my bank account, and I seriously do not believe that should have been a try. Form was held up for mine. That's crap.
It's lucky anyway, for him.
Yeah, Manly go to 4-2, and obviously they're off to a decent. Obviously got going now, and CJ, fuck me, the 19th minute, Jason Saab scores off a dead Cherry Evans kick to Saab. He spins his way over and scores. Saab in the corner. First try of the season. I couldn't believe it.
It annoys me because we let Addo Carr score his first try of the season, and now we let Saab score his first try of the season. Look, I think we could have defended it better, but I thought Johnston did take him out at first, but obviously that wasn't
just spun his way over.
Replay. Yeah, he spun his way over, ball down. So, yeah, fair try. Manly get off to a solid start, I guess.
Manly 10-2 with 12 men, and everyone's watching the game going, what the fuck's going on with South? So they got 13-12 for 72 minutes, and Manly are up 10-2. Everyone was starting to freak out a little bit there, but Souths had none of it. They said, nah, bullshit, we're gonna overtake them here. And we get to the 28th minute, CJ, and Keelan Kalamatangi scores of a nice short ball from Harvilli off the bench as at jersey 14. Kalamatangi that close to the try line, bro. You're not stopping him. He's too good.
I had Kalamatangi any time, and of course, me not putting on a bet, it kind of cost me there. But yeah, Havili, man, I think it was pretty solid off the bench, and to assist that to Kalamatangi, solid try. You can't stop him when he's that close to the line. So yeah.
Yeah, Manly still led the game at 10 points to 8. Manly still in control of the game, sort of. And then South, they found some momentum, CJ. In the 32nd minute, Alex Johnson scores for the Rabbitohs. Blake Taft gets it on to Johnson. Johnson beats Saab. Fuck, that was bad from Saab. Really poor from Saab. Johnson scores. Mate, Johnson, the bloke's a gun. Underrated winger, man. Always knows how to score a try.
And he always knows how to score against Manly. That's 14 times now he scored against Manly. Another player had any time and didn't put anything on, so still dreaded about that. But, you know, a great try from Johnston, and good to see him go over because I think, you know, some people are underutilising him this year.
No doubt. Taft missed the conversion from the sideline. Rabbitohs lead 12 points to 10, CJ, and in the 36th minute, Cherry Evans with a nice 40-20. Manly have a chance to score some points, and they do that. In the 37th minute, through Christian Tupaluta, Manly go left with Foran to Schuster to I can't even pronounce his name. Christian Tupulotu. Oh, I'm sorry.
Tuipulotu.
Tupulotu. I'll get it right eventually. He scores for Manly. Manly back in front, 16-12, CJ.
Yeah, I'll be honest, when he scored that, I thought that's going to be the result going into half time.
So
But
do I.
yeah, good try from Tuipulotu. He finds on open space, takes it, and grounds the ball, and gets Manly into lead.
Manly 16-12. And then, mate, right before half time, about 5 seconds before half time, the Bunnies, they hit back. Isaiah Tass scores a try. Murray gives it to Walker to Tass, and Isaiah Tass, too much speed for Koala, gets on the outside of him, and Tass scores. What a try, bro.
My guy, everyone knows how much I rate Isaiah Tass. So that's his second try of the year. Good to see. And Cody Walker getting a try assist on his 150th is also really good to see. And Isaiah Tass too fast for Koala and takes us into lead at half time.
Tane Milne, Jackson Paulo in the centres have all been put on notice. They both played left centre this year. Milne, Paulo are on notice. This Tass kid's a freak.
Well, Paulo's not even going to be here in the next few months anyway, so
Where's he going?
he's going to Parramatta, mate, if you don't know that yet.
No, I did not know that. Okay, fuck. Not bad for Parramatta. They need some backs. Anyway, we get to half time. Rabbitohs lead 18-16. A crazy, high-scoring first half, and it was a crazy old first half of footy. And we get to the second half, CJ, and in the 49th minute, Tom Burgess just crashes over. Lazy defense here from Lachlan Croker. Really poor first contact. Martin Tapau just doesn't do anything. Just misses the tackle. And Tom Burgess scores a very, very soft try, CJ.
This try was very, very, I think it was a very important try in terms of the game, this one. We really needed that going off half time. And I think this is what sparked, I won't say floodgates, but it sparked our, way to win, I reckon.
The momentum was on your side after that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rabbitohs go to 24-16 with 46 minutes gone into the game. And in the 48th minute, Brad Parker went off with an injury. He went up towards the sheds, and I don't think he came back. And that moved Ben Trebojevic into the centres, which was a little bit out of position there. And Campbell Graham gave him a bloody bath. And maybe get to the 50th minute. And in his 150th game, Cody Walker scores for the Bunnies. Walker gives it on to Tass. Tass with a great offload out the back to Walker, and Walker scores in the corner. Cody Walker, what a freak.
I think it was also the last tackle in that setup. And
it was.
Isaiah Tass got tackled, and I was like, fuck, we just could have scored there. But now nowhere, offload from the back, gives it to Cody Walker, the magician, scores in his 150th. So that's good to see.
Ball comes out of his ass. It sort of came out of his ass like he was taking a shit, and picked it up and scored.
Yeah, basically.
Pretty much. Rabbitohs go to 30-16, half an hour to go, and I thought to myself, 30-16, 13-12, Manly's gone. But they kept fighting Manly, so credit to them. They hit back again, 58th minute. Cherry Evans gets a penalty try here because Foran kicks the ball on the inside. Cherry Evans would have scored the try. He was in front of the ball, and then for some reason, Damien Cook tackles Cherry Evans before he dives on it, and obviously that denied an opportunity for Cherry Evans to dive on the ball, so it ends up being a penalty try. Cherry Evans, I have absolutely no problem with this. I believe it was the right call, CJ. Penalty try to Cherry Evans was.
Yeah, look, I didn't like it, but yeah, it's a penalty try any day. The leg was there, so you'd have to give it. Yeah, if you didn't give it, it'd be pretty unfair. So yeah, look, it's a penalty try.
Rabbitohs 30-22, bro. And I thought to myself, fuck, 20 to go, only 8-point game. You never know. You just never know. And in the 70th minute, obviously fatigue really knocked the Seagulls at that point, mate. And Cam Murray scores a try. Cook from dummy half to Murray. Murray just crashes over. Manly defense there was just too tired. And Cam Murray scores a try, CJ.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was saying when he scored that. I said the fatigue's going to get to him. And as soon as I said that, Cameron Murray goes dashing over from a Cook pass. So, yeah, I think this is where we locked and sealed the game.
South's 36-22, and there's about 8 minutes to go, and we all know the game's over. And mate, with about 10 seconds to go, Blake Tapp scores a late try. Graham gets on the outside of bench of Boyovich, offloads it to Taff, and Tapp scores, and Rabbitohs win 40-22. Mate, Blake Tapp scoring a late try on the bell. How good?
Yeah, well, thank fuck. Put 40 on Manly, so I think that's pretty good for us.
Yep.
especially without players like Mark Nichols, Latrell, all that. So it's pretty impressive. So yeah, I'm happy with that win. I'll take it.
And obviously, Manly had a few out as well. They had no Turbo, no Josh Alloway, no. They lost Parker to an injury. They lost Ola Kawatu wasn't playing tonight. They had a lot of players out, Manly, and South did as well. But obviously, the likes of Cody Walker, Cam Murray get going, and all these sort of players, they're going to be very hard to run down. And obviously, with 12 men for the rest of the game, from what Kyle Lawton did early on, it obviously didn't help Manly, and obviously the fatigue got him late in the game, and South ran over top of him. But CJ, Souths, they were good, but they still got a lot of things to work on. Obviously, completion rate needs to be a bit better than what it was tonight, and all that. But mate, what'd you make of the performance, and did the Rabbitohs impress you tonight?
Well, I think, don't want to sound spoiled here, but I think, we had several years at the top, and I think that was one of those plays where we should have put the foot on the throat when they lost Carl Lawton. Lost for words, man. I'm still sweating after that game. But yeah, I'm happy with the win. I'll take it. We put 40 points on them. So yeah, look, I'll take it. So I'm happy with it.
Yeah,
I'm just glad we won.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it, mate. Who would your top 3 players be on ground from this game, Rabbitohs and Manly tonight?
So number 3, I'm going to go Cody Walker. I think he had a pretty solid game tonight. Number 2, I'll go David Cherry Evans from Manly. And my man of the match is going to be the skipper, Cameron Murray. I think he had a solid game tonight, man.
Yep. I'm going to go a little bit different to you, CJ. I'm going to go number 3, Lachlan Ilias. I thought Ilias was outstanding at halfback. I thought he played very well tonight. Number 2, I'm going to go with Cody Walker. I thought Cody Walker had a great game as well. My man of the match, CJ, is going to surprise you a little bit. I'm going to give it to Tom Burgess. I thought he was outstanding, Burgess.
I think he ran
186 meters. It's right in front of me.
Oh, yeah. I thought he ran 200.
186 running meters, scored a try. Everyone's talking about Walker and Ilias and Murray and all these sort of players, but Campbell Graham as well. But fuck, man, Burgess tonight, he laid a great platform for the forwards. He led by example. He was outstanding in the middle. His running meters were great. His post-contact meters were great as well. Scored a nice try as well, which was good to see. You love seeing front row score tries. It's always good to watch. And
yeah.
I thought his game tonight, I thought he led by example, bro.
He did, and I think it's also a reason that we need to extend his contract and not let him go.
Yeah,
played really good.
Exactly right. But mate, congratulations to your boys, the Rabbitohs, getting a nice 40-22 win over the Seagulls tonight. Great win.
Yeah, happy with it, man. I'll take it. Win's a win.
Next week, you take on the Broncos in the Adam Reynolds Cup. That's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Mate, if there's a game I want to win, I want to do it against Renault. Payne Haas might be out.
Are you going to that game next week, bro? Rabbitohs Broncos, are you going to be at that game?
No, man. I'm going to skip that game because I'm going to Magic Round. So.
Oh, yeah, fair call. I'll see you there in 2 weeks. It's going to be good.
Yeah,
Magic Round. Right. Be absolutely fantastic. But, CJ, mate, that's going to wrap up the review, mate. I really appreciate your time tonight for coming on the review.
No, all good, man. Thanks for having me on tonight. Yeah, it's hot in here, so I'm going to go have a shower after the win. So, yeah, just glad that we got the W.
Well, mate, thank you for coming on the review, and everyone that's tuned in to the Friday night football review tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Full time. Panthers have beaten the Gold Coast Shit Titans 18 points to 4. Rabbitohs beat the Seagulls 40 points to 22. And the best part about tonight for me is watching the Gold Coast lose. Oh, the Titans are so shit. Anyway, guys, have a fantastic night. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Titans are so fucking shit. They're fucking shit. Anyway, guys, have a good night.